Hey! Is the noon train on time?
Supposed to be.
Feels like it's time.
Fair enough.
BBN Jack Frost. What's up, party people? How's everybody doing? I'm hoping everybody's having a beautiful day. We got a lot to talk about today, but before we get... So, also, I want to apologize because the previous live, apparently, there was no audio. Let me check right quick to make sure that everything's working appropriately. Yeah, so previously, there was no audio. I have no idea what that... I have no idea what was going on with that. It was something... It just... That's the way it shook out. With that being said, we got a lot to talk about today, but before we get to any of that, there's something that came across my desk right as the previous show was about to start. I clicked the button. It came across my phone. I said I want to tell you about this first. So check this out.
Right? It's not the only department getting audited. Every agency is getting audited. Biden spent $3 billion to build 93 electric mail trucks. That comes to $32 million per mail truck. You've seen a mail truck. They work fine. You get your mail, right? A Formula One race car doesn't cost $32 million. Not even half that. This is why there's inflation. He's spending $32 million per mail truck. You know who got the contract? Oshkosh Defense, a defense contractor from Wisconsin. Swing state. What's a defense contractor doing making electric mail trucks? Because they know how to win contracts and bilk the feds. That's why. This company, Oshkosh Defense, was supposed to build 60,000. They only built 93. The CEO, John Pfeiffer, says he's really happy with the progress. The guy's a Democrat donor, by the way. If you had given this contract to Musk, we'd be done by now, with money left over. Pentagon's not the only department getting audited. Every agency is getting audited.
So I want to say something real quick, and that's why I'm so happy that this came across before we even got the show started, because there was a question last night I was having with myself when I was deciding what the show was going to be about today. Real quick, what we will be talking about, just so we could be clear, we will be discussing those drones that have been in the sky, because we just have to talk about that. And we're going to talk about what we talk about almost every day is the Democrats and them their lies, because they're just always lying. And I think that there is a need for us to hold our... So I was in church this Sunday, and so coach is up there, and you know he's doing the Sunday school, and he makes great points every week. But one of the points in which he made is that when you are a leader, you're supposed to be held to a certain standard. And I think that's what a lot of the people that complain that the police, and in many instances, just so we could be clear, they are correct. But I think that that's what the complaint but you know, people are individuals, so individual people, just like individual police, just like individual people, are going to act independently, you know, based on what they perceive to be whatever their advantages and or disadvantages of their behavior in that moment. Correct? So these same people, might I add you, it's just the hypocrisy behind it, basically. You understand? It's like it's the hypocrisy in any regard. $3 billion for 32 mail trucks is insane. And they got y'all over here voting on abortion. They got y'all over here believing that Donald Trump is going to tank the economy, like they haven't already done that. But you can't have a conversation with the voters, because many of the Democratic voters, what they're going to lend their opinions to is the press that is currently saying Donald Trump is this and Donald Trump is that. They're going to do zero of their own research, and any research that anyone else does that contradicts the research in which they already believe, they're going to say, well, you're just a regular guy. These dudes is, they're professionals at this. So I just want to show you something real quick.
I believe that what the Democrats did to Donald Trump, which I covered, which was the job, to impeach a guy when you know you have no chance of getting him removed, okay? Zero chance. That was a political indulgence to do nothing but distract from the interests of the people, and you were creating an impression of a standard that you never had any intention of holding up yourself. And the Democrats have proven the problem with their actions. Those New York cases, Charlie, were crap. And they only brought them to try to slow down Trump. We both know it. And what they did with Kamala Harris is proof that they don't give a shit about any higher standard. They didn't even allow for democratic process in their own stupid little club where they can do whatever they want.
So basically, what's happening is, while we're busy out here arguing over abortion rights, the Democrats is doing a litany of things that might not be above the board. One is, why in the hell does a mail freaking truck need to cost $32 million? But if you say something like that to a voter and then explain, they're going to just imagine that Donald Trump would have did worse. They're just going to throw out hypotheticals. So you can't never have a conversation with them about nothing. Because as you give them facts, they're going to give you hypotheticals. You can't live in reality with an individual who chooses to warp reality based on what they are feeling in that moment. So if someone decides that reality is what they figure it to be in that moment based on how they're feeling, their truth, then how are you to have a conversation with them? That's totally different conversation with something else. Anyway, let's get to these drones. Y'all ready to talk about them dead drones over the years? First of all, let's bring up something real quick and see what these drones is talking about. Drones over, what is it, Jersey? We got drones over Jersey too, right? I think we had drones over Jersey. Drones over Jersey. Let's see what they've been saying about these real quick. All right, so we got, this is everything, the mystery drones over New Jersey and nearby states. Drones shut down Ohio Air Force Base for hours. Here goes the update. Come on, get this up on here. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that either. I'm sorry, I can't help you out with any of them situations, though. I'm not mad at you. Appreciate the content that you got up here for us to look at. With that being said, for weeks, citizens across New Jersey and many other states have reported seeing clusters of drones-like objects flying low in the sky at night. Yet, information remains scarce. Even as state officials now say they've seen the drones firsthand, received mixed information from federal agencies, and pushed the FBI for answers. Do what we want to do with this. I want to block. The Wright-Patterson Air Base, a base just miles from Dayton, Ohio, that houses technology and research facilities, closed its air operations for nearly 4 hours from Friday night into Saturday because of small unmanned aerial systems. Though the facility was not impacted, Bob Potterman, the base's chief of public affairs, told multiple local outlets, dude is like, look, man, the other day we did a thing we don't normally do with some small unmanned aerial systems situation. There's nothing to look at here. There's nothing to see. Disperse the crowd. Shout out to that guy. Anyway, Secretary of Homeland Security Alejandro Mayorkas, told ABC News on December 15th, there's no question that people are seeing drones, or some of the recent sightings in New Jersey and other East Coast states might be manned aircraft or duplicate pardon me, or duplicate reports. What the fuck? Pardon my language. Oh, I guess they're saying some of these instances they believe to be not sightings of different aerial drones or whatever the hell. But many of these sightings, I guess he's trying to say, are the duplicate reports. Mayorkas said officials have deployed extra resources to look into the sightings and will let the public know if there's reason for concerns. Isn't this the same Mayorkas? So Trump wants to shoot the drones down. Mayorkas is saying no. Mayorkas says election disinformation is extremely. Let's just get an understanding of just who Mayorkas guy is, right? Real quick. What is his Homeland Security, Secretary of Homeland Security, Alejandro Mayorkas. All right, let's go. Mayorkas said officials have developed, pardon me. Mayorkas says officials have deployed extra resources to look into the sightings and will let the public know if there's reason for concern. We're on it, he said. But so far, there's no indication of foreign involvement. Okay. In a similar vein, an unnamed FBI official said in a White House briefing, fewer than 100 of the agency's 5,000 tips on drone sightings have been worthy of further investigation. And modeling shows many of the sightings have taken place in the flight paths of major airports, suggesting that people could be mistaken planes for drones. Why they always try to tell us, you don't look over here, don't look over here. Whatever you didn't see what you thought you saw. It was a mirage. Why they always telling us that? So they always trying to. There's only two reasons why I would think that somebody would be, one, hiding information, obviously, but also when they want you to see something, but you don't see the thing they want you to see, you see something else. So they're like, nah, you know what? Let's just start over from scratch. In any regard, still up talking, the reported drone sightings has caught uptick. Still, the uptick in reported drone sightings, of course, concern across several states with social media users posting videos of lit objects hovering in the sky at night, and state officials asking federal governments for clarity. Do y'all remember when our skies was just screwed up for a real long time? And one of the things that I kept saying is, I think something's going on up there and we just can't see it. Remember, like, we didn't get, I don't know how anybody else feels about this, but in New York City, we had a big issue with this. And also, might I say, since those drone sightings have been popping up, all of a sudden now we got an overcast in New York City and it's coming down. Rain everywhere. So we had like tons of clear skies for a little while, and then now it's rain everywhere. The skies is filled with clouds. Do y'all remember when it was like we couldn't see the sun for months? It was like always an overcast, even on a warm day. Anybody remembers that? Because I know I'm not the only one that remembers that. I can't be. Maybe I am. In any regard. New York Governor Kathy Hochul said December 15 federal officials are sending a drone detection center to her state, but argued Congress should give the state the power to deal directly with the drones. Wait, what? So the states they can't. So that's an issue. Hold on, I want to say something real quick. I have an issue with that. I have a big issue with that because. Okay, so let's look at what the Constitution was supposed to be real quick. Let's just have a real quick conversation about the Constitution, because I think people don't understand how our government is actually supposed to be ran. So basically, each individual state is their own government. For the best way I could explain this is, if you look over in Europe, we call England a country, but over there, England is a state. You know, Poland, these are states. Their countries are states. So I need for you to understand that concept right now. There's a continent, a large landmass, right? And then there is states for smaller land, for smaller congregations of principalities or governments. And then for the really, really large governments like the Russias and the China, there is states also, but those states are connected through a federal oversight, basically, situation where that's how they're unified. So when we look at our individual state should 100% have the ability to defend themselves from anything, including another state. Do you understand what I'm saying? So the fact that they're saying that states have to get permission to defend themselves leads me to believe that what we're looking at and what we're seeing might actually not be something that's foreign. Now, with that being said, New York Governor Kathy Hochul said December 15th, federal officials are sending a drone detection center to her state, but argue Congress should give the state the power to deal directly with the drones. An issue also backed by New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy, while Senator Chuck Schumer of New York, the Democrat, called for the Congress to give local police more tools. So I need for y'all to understand the hypocrisy behind this. The Democrats are always trying to make everything federal. The Democrats are always trying to make laws that every state has to abide by, while the Republicans are usually trying to give states their immunity. I need for you to understand what I'm saying. Because what happens is you have a conversation with an individual and they'll say they're pro this or they're pro that, and they won't even understand what they're pro. You don't understand what you're encouraging. They just spoke. You heard a speech someday, and the individual was saying a thing, and you focused on that one thing that individual said that you liked. You didn't focus on all of the other things that the individual might have been saying. So you're not even thinking about the ramifications of if those things actually go through. Let me explain something real quick, and I'm just going to go right back to this whole mail truck thing, just so you can understand how insane it was for them to spend that much money on that program alone. Even if they were able to get 10,000 mail trucks, because that was what the contract was for, 10,000 mail trucks, and it cost how many billion to make 32? In any regard, I need for you to understand this concept. Even if right now, as the world sits, they met all of the EV, environmental friendly vehicles, mandate that freaking the Biden administration said that they wanted to do over, a very short period of time, which it is impossible to do. Even if this mandate was met, there's not enough electricity on our grid for people to be able to drive. The electricity doesn't even exist. So they're promising things once again that they cannot deliver. And in this particular situation, it's not even that they can't deliver it because they don't got the votes. They can't deliver it because it's something that is impossible. But they got people voting in favor of this. They got people ready to argue down about this. Why this is something that is impossible. And also, just so we can be clear, the stations that actually fuel the electricity pumps that shoot into the machines, the EV vehicles, those run on diesel. So you still got to use fuel. So yeah, that part. But they made y'all fall for this. And they was able to funnel how many billions of dollars into this? Democrats. Oh, real quick. On a global level, think about how many countries now is backing up and companies are backing up off of the DEI agenda. Think about that. They messed up Marvel Universe, by the way. They destroyed the DEI is what messed up MCU. Y'all just don't get it yet because y'all don't understand what actually. If you know anything about the comic books, you understand that DEI messed up the MCU. 100%. It was DEI. It wasn't even the Me Too movement. It was DEI. I promise you. If you know anything about the comics, I'm not gonna say anything, but if you are as into the comic books as I am, and you understand that some changes have to be made, but some changes don't make sense, you'll get it. Like 100%. DEI fucked up the comic book. The comic book MCU is about to make a recovery because they're moving away from the DEI. We wouldn't have got all of those really terrible, all that terrible content. The Marvels that was not good. I don't even want to get into it. Just a lot of stuff that just was not good. It just wasn't good content. DEI. Anyway, let's get back to what we're talking about. My apologies. So, do y'all want to have a discussion about what the drones actually, with allegedly what the drones are actually up there about? This is just a little bit more people speaking about how they want the situation to be handled or whatever. New Jersey police chief described the drones as the size of a car and bigger than the standard drones available in the amateur flyers. Sightings have been occurring nightly for the past 2 weeks, beginning just after sunset and lasting well into the early morning hours. Joseph Orlando, chief of the police in Florin Park, New Jersey, said in a statement December 4th. So I want to say something real quick. And this is what I mean by y'all guys don't like America. And when I say y'all guys, I'm literally talking about the people that complain about how the people that want the guns to be taken. I'm not a gun owner, but I don't want guns to be taken. I understand why guns exist. The people that want guns to be taken. The people that is constantly fighting and arguing for everything to be feminized. It's like men can't be men. Like, you understand? Oh, y'all guys, y'all the problem. Period. You guys are the problem. 100%. And I'm going to explain why. Allegedly, I do not know this to be true, and I'm not saying that this is true. But allegedly, what's going on is there's allegedly a nuclear, I don't know if you want to call it a dirty bomb, but there's allegedly some kind of nuclear something, allegedly, in that area. And that's the American government sending out there like radiation detectors and shit like that trying to find it. So that's allegedly what's going on right now. I do not know any of that to be true. I'm not saying that it is true, but I want to express this, and this is just so important. When you open up our borders and just let people in, what in the hell do you think is going to happen? Now, I don't know if that's what's going on, but it's on social media. People are talking about it. But what do you expect to happen? I mean, it could just as easily just be a hoax. The people in power want to try to hold on to power, so they want to create a situation. The people in power want to hold on to power, so they're trying to create a situation that makes it so we can't transfer power over. That could also be happening. Let's just be clear, because that's what I think they're trying to do. Because that's what I think that they're trying to do. I think they're trying to create a situation so that it don't make sense. We can't transfer power. But these people are imbeciles. This is literally the worst administration of my lifetime, bar none. Maybe the worst administration in the history of America. What the hell do I know? But of my lifetime, this is the worst, bar none. Bing Bang says, 2 people in Boston was arrested for using a drone too close to the airport. Yeah, so it's illegal to use drones at the airport, so they should have been arrested. You're not allowed to use drones around that area because you can mess up their radar or whatever, allegedly. I don't know why. That's what they say. So you're not supposed to use drones over there. But what's interesting is we just read that the drones that's up in the sky is following flight paths. That's interesting. Are they that's interesting. In any regard, allegedly, there's supposed to be some kind of, so that's what they're allegedly looking for. And if that's what's happening, that means there's a good chance that if that is what's happening, so it was first in Jersey. Now they're thinking that it might be coming to New York. New York would be a place where I would think that they might want to make shit go explosion. So that might be what they're trying to do, prevent the shit. That might be what's happening. It's just that, remember, everybody over there is incompetent, and they've been spending all of their resources on putting Trump in jail. They've been spending 0 of their resources on taking care of America. Tell me where the lie's at. Think about all of the money they sent overseas. They sent so many weapons overseas that they said I heard it's going to take like something like 10 or 15 years for us to be able to make that many weapons, to get that many weapons. Like, that's how much weapons they sent over to the Ukraine. That's bananas. Why are they weaponizing every other country? I mean, I can tell you why, so then they could put in an order to their friends so they could make new weapons. So that's why they're doing it. But now we don't have any weapons, or we don't have the cachet of weapons that we should have, especially going into a situation where there might be a war right now. Does Biden and his family plan on moving to the Ukraine for the rest of their life? Is that what's happening? So they want to send weapons over there to make sure that nobody could invade the area? They're trying to make the Ukraine as strong as possible because they're going to live there. That's where they're going to live until him and his family, that's going to be their kingdom. Just asking. In any regard, back to the drones. So I don't know how anybody feels about that. Hold on, I'm gonna bring the screen up. Let's see if we can find it on social media real quick. I mean, internet.
I believe that.
Hold on.
I believe that what the.
I got some other stuff to talk about. We got some Fannie Willis stuff to show y'all today also. Hold on, let me show y'all this before we finish.
Here I was on the phone with my OEM team, and we now have guidance coming from the state. And
so, just so we can be clear, don't go near the drones without a hazmat suit.
Here I was on the phone with my OEM team, and we now have guidance coming from the state. And that guidance does say 2 different things. First of all, there is a downed drone in our vicinity.
Anybody loves how I say something, and I know it's going to sound off the wall, so I'll say the thing to just make sure everybody think, yo, this guy's, he's bananas, he's going crazy. And it's like, boom, then I hit you with the proof. So I've been like that like my whole life. People that know me rarely have a question, because I don't talk about things that I don't know.
Here I was on the phone with my OEM team, and we now have guidance coming from the state. And that guidance does say 2 different things. First of all, there is a downed drone in our vicinity. We are immediately to call the bomb squad of our county. And second, our fire department has been instructed to make sure they wear hazmat suits.
So if something falls out of the sky that people have seen, and some of these things are as big as an SUV, if that happens, you're to treat this more than a plane crash. It's treated like an attack on the homeland?
That is correct, because they're not quite sure if there's a payload or not.
So it's like, yo, what is those things? Now, I don't know if they're searching for whatever the hell they're searching for. They might be searching for some other shit. They might be looking for fucking, I don't know, Jason Bourne. What the fuck do I know? They might be looking for Jason Bourne. What do I know, right? But one thing, it has to be for certain. I doubt very much that these things are not something that the government knows what it is. That's one. Two, I don't want to. So that's the elephant in the room, aliens. So understand what an alien is. An alien is something that's foreign, right? So foreign and not invited, right? So anything that we come into contact with that we don't know what it is would be foreign to us, and we didn't invite it, so it would be alien to us, basically, right? It would be something that's new, you know, in any regard. So, and there's a concept or an idea that has been had that at some point the government is going to try to impose certain sanctions on its civilians, and they need a big event to do this. It's called Project Bluebeam. Anyway, hold on. Did you notice that many of the blockbuster movies since maybe, I think one of the first movies to actually do it was Independence Day, the first one, always seem to end the movie with like some blue beam in the sky. So one of the things that allegedly is being done to the American people, to the people of America, of the world, is programming. So they do, they program us by putting images in front of us continuously, so we'll accept it more if it ever becomes a reality. So with me saying all of that, what I'm saying is there is a community of people that believe, and I'm not saying that I'm a part of this community, that the government is going to stage an alien invasion. Now, just so we could be clear, I'm not saying that the government would do something like that. I'm not saying the government would not do something like that. I'm just saying that there is a community of people that believe this. Now, just so you can understand what what I would think an alien is, because somebody's gonna say, "Yo, Frost over there believes in them the blue monsters and sheetsies. You know them little green Martians. Frost was like them things has existed." I'm not saying any of that. What I'm saying is, just imagine if you seen an angel. Do you know what the description of an angel is in the Bible? It's not what they told us. It's not some full-grown cherub. All right? It's not that. That's not what an them things is grotesque and horrible. We would probably faint or just die on the spot, having actually laid our mortal eyes physically on an angel in front of us, because them things is horrific. Just go look it up yourself. Whatever. You don't got to believe me. In any regard, if we ever was to come into contact with an angel, it's more likely to look like a xenomorph than it is to look like a human. So I say all that to say this. I don't think that that's what's up in the sky. But just so we can be clear, if you ever try to come for me with this, do I believe in Martians conversations? Well, aliens conversations. Well, I do believe that if we ever seen an angel, we would believe that it would be alien to us. So we would probably treat it in that behavior with absolute, this is a monstrosity. It's time to go. Just being clear, it's time to go. Anyway, in any regard. So, allegedly, these drones are in the sky, and the reason why they're in the sky is because there is an issue, allegedly, with trying to find a nucleus something other, and that's what they're looking for. They're searching radiation trails or whatever. That's why I guess they're moving along the airport, because they're saying that the drones are following flight plans. So that would lead me to believe that, you know, they're being controlled by something that knows our flight plans and also is not trying to obstruct our flight plans. You get what I'm saying? Like, if it was a foreign government, like, what the hell would they care about our flight plans for? Them niggas is just gonna do whatever they want to do. If it was an alien, why would they care about our flight plans? They just, you know, who these human beings? What are you talking about? We're grotesque monsters. Ah ha ha. They not gonna care. They're not gonna care. You understand what I'm saying? So American government would lead me to believe that that's who's controlling the drones. It just would make sense. I'm not saying that there might be multiple drones up there. There might be multiple drones coming from multiple different entities. So I want to have a conversation real quick. Should have had this a little bit earlier, but we was talking about something else and it was flowing. But we need to have a conversation real quick, because I don't think people really truly understand what DOGE is about to do. Do you know? Okay, so let me show you something real quick. And let me hope I put it up there. Okay, so two things I'm going to show you real quick. Pay attention. One more thing I want to show you, just to add a little bit more context. I'm going to play about a minute of this. Not even a minute. A minute should be enough, because it's 7 minutes long. So we're not going to do the whole 7 minutes. I'm going to play about a minute of this. And you should be able to get and then I'll come back and explain. Come back with my commentary.
You can kind of put anyone in jail if you know what to do.
How?
You set them up.
Does the Bureau practice entrapment a lot?
And we get really close. We call it a nudge.
A nudge.
A nudge. Sometimes you just got to give them a quick little, just to see what happens. Sometimes you light the fuse and just wait for it to follow. Nothing like putting out a fake social media thing to like really get people mad.
Alex Jones.
Yeah, so we were after him.
You are?
We did what we wanted.
Which was what?
Took his money away, chopped his legs off.
Gavin O'Blennis is a contracting officer at the CIA. O'Blennis worked for the FBI in 2021 and 2022 in the San Diego office, moved on to Homeland Security where he conducted asylum interviews at the southern border, and now works for the CIA managing multi-million-dollar contracts across government agencies and private sector vendors.
I work for, how do I put this without, I'm not supposed to tell people kind of job. If I say intelligence, what do you think?
CIA?
Yep.
You work for the CIA?
I do.
So the first thing I want to explain to y'all is the difference between the CIA and the FBI. See, the CIA and the FBI, they do different things. They're not the same thing. They're two totally different intelligence agencies, and they have different priorities, or they're supposed to have different priorities that they're supposed to do. One of the things that the CIA is never supposed to do is operate on American soil. I need for you to understand that the CIA is not, at least as far as I know, the CIA is not supposed to operate on American soil. So one of the things that the DOGE is about to do is cut all of those salaries. All of those individuals that it's their job to go do shit like that, solve problems, all of them niggas is about to get cut. So all of those people that they get paid to show up at rallies and make sure that shit go clip left. Do you know the thing? I want to just take 2 seconds. Just please bear with me. I'm just going to say something that's personal. Just 2 seconds. But you know, this is what I keep trying to explain to y'all is going on with me. That I'm just out in the world minding my business and people are just coming up to me trying to like create a situation but pretend like they haven't done anything. The Bible says that we are not to provoke anyone to anger. What does the Bible say about provoking someone to anger? So the Bible says that provoking someone to anger is a sin and that it is wrong to condemn someone for responding angrily to being provoked. So that's basically what they are doing to me. They're constantly, everywhere that I go, they try to provoke me. Psalms 37, 125, 1 through 25. But this particular passage right here says, do not be provoked by evildoers. Who else is going to try to provoke you but somebody doing evil? I'm just saying. It also says that those who do evil will be cut off, but those who wait for the Lord will inherit the earth. So Ephesians 6:4. Fathers, do not provoke your children to anger, but bring them up in the discipline and instruction of the Lord. So nobody's supposed to be provoking anyone, not even parents provoking their children. Colossians 3, I say that wrong every time. 3:21. Fathers, do not provoke your children lest they become discouraged. So you're not supposed to provoke. Provoking is bad. Love is not easily provoked. Okay, so some provoking is good, but you're not supposed to provoke anger. Let us not be desirous of vain glory, provoking one another, envying one another. So I'm doing 0 of these things, and people say that I'm apparently weird because I'm not being provoked, and I'm also not provoking people or trying my best to not provoke people. So this is just a point. When you're following the Most High and doing your best to follow the Most High, people do dislike you. Make no friendship with a man given to anger, nor go with a man. Just, Christians can be incited to do good things. For an example, these are examples of being incited to do good things. Encouraging positivity in your community and encouraging positivity in others. And what's this channel about? There's a reason why people hate me. Well, there's a reason why the people that hate me. In any regard. Yeah, not supposed to provoke people. Provoking people is bad. I'm just saying. I just want to show that real quick. So that's what they're doing. They're going out there and they're trying to provoke a situation to make things happen. Like when we have these rallies, and then all of a sudden there's a fire, a car's on fire. What about when they burn down that police precinct? You wondering why nobody got arrested? Or really, I don't know in that particular situation. But you're wondering why there's so much wild shit happened and nobody was getting arrested? I stopped going to the rallies in New York City once they started encouraging people to loot. I don't need the content that bad. Once they started encouraging people to loot, encouraging people to riot, then they wasn't talking the same language I was talking. So therefore, I stopped covering them. Because we're not going to encourage others to go into destruction. We're not going to do that. We're not going to provoke others into sin. We're just not going to do that. And that's why your man Hawk Newsom is wrong when he then says we should go out there and attack white people. First of all, I'm with Daniel Penny. I've been on the subway. I I see how these people come up to other people just and try to provoke them. I've seen it. It's done happened to me. When you minding your business and Satan sends somebody to provoke you. You do everything that you can until you can't do no more. Y'all think I just be talking? Y'all think that I say anything on this platform that is not wrapped in what I believe to be the message of the Most High? I might, just to be all fairness, nobody's 100%. But hell, I'm in the 90s. I keep trying to tell you, people be making fun of stuff. People be making fun of behavior that God wants us to follow. I keep telling you that. With that being said, gonna go to the DOGE, then we getting back to the drones. The DOGE is about to cripple them. They're about to be crippled. All of these agents they got running around harassing whoever the hell they're harassing. Their budget is about to get smacked. This dude was talking about how they doing an op on an American citizen. This is the CIA. The hell are they doing ops on American citizens for? It'd be bad enough if we heard the feds talking about they wanted to entrap somebody. But imagine the dudes that want to entrap you ain't even supposed to even be operating in the country that the entrapment is happening in. Think about that for a moment. They try to entrap me all the time, fam. Not them niggas, but these weirdos out here. And there's a lot of good people out here in Coney Island, might I add. There are a lot of good people. And for all of those people, thank you for making yourself a little bit more prominently known to me. Because I'm just going to be honest with you. I didn't know. Remember, these weirdos keep a circle around me and harass me whenever I step out my door. It's like they just keep a bubble around me. It's crazy. Now they got this thing where they have people trying to constantly blow cigarette smoke in my face. So it's crazy. You just got to see it. So I just want to say this because this shit is wild. This shit is bug. I know this is going to sound crazy, but listen to me. It's going to sound absolutely bananas. So I hate cigarette smoke. I used to smoke cigarettes years ago. I hate cigarette smoke. When I used to smoke cigarettes, I hated to smoke. I just hate cigarette smoke. When I used to smoke cigarettes, I used to hate the scent it left on my clothes. That's one of the reasons why it was so easy for me to quit. Like, I literally just quit. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't even no big struggle. You know what I'm saying? Also, I think one of the things that make it hard for people to quit smoking cigarettes is you start getting like a fever. Like, your body get physically sick. And you got to push through that shit. So I couldn't imagine what a lot of this other shit is. But when I was getting off of fucking cigarettes, I was working, it was in the middle of, it was like a January or February. We just had a snowstorm. And I worked moving in storage. And I don't really want to talk about that, Sha, but I appreciate your inquiry. So let's get back to what we're talking about, because I'm just absolutely off the rails as usual, talking about some other shit. But like this, let's go out there and do God's will. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's do that. With that being said, let me get back to what we're talking about. All right, we're having a problem. They messing with my stream right now. It is what it is. All right, we having a problem. They messing with my stream right now. It is what it is. All right, we having a problem. They messing with my stream right now. It is what it is. All right, we having a problem. They messing with my stream right now. It is what it is. All right, we having a problem. They messing with my stream right now. It is what it is. All right, we having a problem. They messing with my stream right now. It is what it is. All right, we having a problem. They messing with my stream right now. It is what it is. All right, we having a problem. They messing with my stream right now. It is what it is. All right, we having a problem. They messing with my stream right now. It is what it is. All right, we having a problem. They messing with my stream right now. It is what it is. All right, we having a problem. They messing with my stream right now. It is what it is. All right, we having a problem. They messing with my stream right now. It is what it is. All right, we having a problem. They messing with my stream right now. It is what it is. All right, we having a problem. They messing with my stream right now. It It is what it is. They messing with my stream. They don't like my conversation. Come on, YouTube. Give it a second. Let's see if this shit fixed. Let's see if this shit fixed. Yeah, that shit is right. That is just fine. My Wi-Fi and everything is just fine. They just fucking with my shit until everybody leave. I don't know what y'all can and can't see because I am lagging over here like crazy. Give it a second. We're gonna see if we can catch up. I appreciate your inquiry. All right, so it's working. All right, so, it's working now. Let's get back to what we're talking about because just absolutely off the rails as usual, talking about some other shit. But like, this is well, Shy, you was just here talking to me the other day. In any regard, it's just fine. No, nothing. Don't worry about it. I just prefer not to really discuss. I don't want to. Trying to stay away from having certain discussions. That's all. With due respect. What the fuck? They just lagging me. Let's see what's happening. I might be only reason why I'm staying fucking. Because they got somebody laughing at the fact that our connection is fucked up. That might be the only thing helping to keep us fucking going right now. Because he's giving us mad, he's giving us a lot of interaction at the moment. What the fuck is going on with this shit? Alright. I can't tell if it stopped or not because I'm having where it's looking like it stopped over here. You understand? Shit is bugging. I must be hitting on a lot of shit this morning. I must be hitting on a lot of shit this morning. Other day, it was a thing parked in front of my house. It's gonna be quiet. I must be hitting on a lot of shit this morning. Alright, there we go. It looks like it's working. Alright, let's get back to what we're talking about. It looked like it's working. We're gonna see how long it's gonna work. And then let's get back to what I'm talking about. So I want to say something real quick, and I don't want there to be no misunderstanding. I want to be clear about this. Let me close. I got too many. Let me check something else real quick. I wonder if that fixes it. Let's see. This might fix it. Ways. With that being said, so I want to say something, and I want to be clear on this. Getting back on topic, we want to get to the drones, but I want to talk about the DOGE real quick because we have a problem in America with government surveillance of its people, and what I mean by that is, I remember what Kamala Harris has said. So I'm about to show you something real quick. So Kamala Harris has said that she had wanted to make a law where people could get in trouble for criticizing the government. That law would be going directly against the First Amendment. Also, she said that she wanted to make a forced buyback program that will be going against the Second Amendment. So the point in which I'm trying to make is that the Democrats are constantly trying to take our rights away from us. So they wanted to, if they would have won this new election, they would have kept the people in power that was running the CIA and the FBI. So what is one of the main reasons why those people are going to be retiring, or is people going to be quitting, or they're going to be losing their job, or whatever the case it is under Trump? You want to know why one of the main reasons is? It's not just because those are the people that went against Trump and tried to screw Trump over, but one of the main, at least this is my opinion, one of the main reasons is those are the people that's behind all of this shadow government bullshit that's happening. When they talk about this deep state, who do you think they're talking about? They're talking about this shit. Listen, when they're talking about the deep state, they're talking about this shit. This is deep state. This is what they're talking about. The people who work for the government, but they don't really work for the government. The people that are making things in the government happen, but nobody elected them. Somebody just gave them a job. Now they work for the 4 presidents done went past, and they still got their same position doing the same shit. I mean, the government ain't changed. The president just changed.
You can kind of put anyone in jail if you know what to do.
How?
You set them up.
Does the Bureau practice entrapment a lot?
This is shadow government.
We get really close. We call it a
This is the
nudge.
dictator.
A nudge.
A nudge. Sometimes you just gotta give them a quick look just to see what happens. Sometimes you light the fuse and just wait for it to follow. Nothing like putting out a fake social media thing to like really get people mad.
Alex Jones.
Yeah, so we were after him.
You are?
We did what we wanted.
Which was what?
Took his money away. Shot his legs off.
This is happening.
Gavin O'Blennis is a
No
contracting
idea.
officer at the CIA.
Don't know them.
O'Blennis worked for the FBI in 20...
Keep trying to tell you. You can't entrap somebody into some shit that they're not about. So I'm going to keep getting harassed. It is what it is. But I'm not about it. All I could do is just be annoyed. That's it. It's not my type of lifestyle. I'm not into that shit. So yeah, it's fucking annoying. I have a right to be annoyed when people are doing annoying shit. What did God say about entrapping people? Oh, pardon me. What did God say? What did the Bible say about freaking... Did I erase all of that stuff? Hope I didn't. What did the Bible say? Bam. You got people that's constantly trying to provoke you. Into doing evil, to doing something, to being angry and upset. Here, there go some passages you could read to come to your own understanding about, you know, the thing. Go some passages you could read. But look into it yourself. You don't got to take my word for nothing. Why do you think I keep saying that these people are Satan? You just think I'm saying that because they the opposite of trying? You think I'm just saying it? No, I'm saying it because they're operation tactics. Now, with that being said, Trump says shoot the drones down, I believe. Hold on. I heard somewhere that Trump said shoot the drones down. Let's go look real quick. Let's see what Trump said. We're just going to put in Trump and drones and see what it says, right? Gaps in airspace security. Trump advisor says. Trump solution to drone sightings, shoot them down. Weeks of drone sightings in several states on the East Coast have left residents in the... Did we read this already? No, we didn't read this one. Because they be reposting the same thing. Weeks of drone sightings in several... Because it be the same person right here. But she'll be working for different people. And she'll put the same article. Anyway. Weeks of drone sightings... If you're Associated Press, sometimes they just post this. Anyway. Weeks of drone sightings in several states in the East Coast have left residents in a panic and local lawmakers demanding answers from the federal government. On Friday, President-elect Donald Trump weighed in with some alternatives. The government should let the public in on what it knows about the drones. Or simply shoot them down. It wasn't clear whether Trump was suggesting that the government or ordinary civilians do the shooting. Obviously, he's saying the dang government. Trump suggests that the government, well, what the hell? The government should let the public in on what it knows about the drones or simply shoot them down. Freaking, the government is the subject of the damn sentence. So he's talking about the government. He's not talking about civilians. What in the hell is wrong with these people? So this is the subject of the sentence. And this is the one adjective. And this is the other adjective. What in the hell are they talking? Anyway, mystery drone sightings all over the country. Trump wrote on social media, on Truth Social. Pardon me. Mystery drone sightings all over the country, Trump wrote on Truth Social. Can this really be happening without our government's knowledge? I don't think so. Let the public know, and now. Otherwise, shoot them down. I'm with Trump. Watch, they're gonna say he's a Nazi. He's a Nazi. Why would you want to shoot down drones that we allegedly don't know what these drones is? He's a whole Nazis over here. Why would he want to shoot them dead drones down that we see doing things like this? Let me show you some stuff that we have the drones film doing real quick. Why do you want to shoot down the drones that we got filmed doing things like this over here? That looks like gunfire. And that looks like a drone shooting at something on the ground. So why would we want to shoot them dead drones?
That thing is completely stationary shooting.
Should be them dead drones is up there, right? Why would Trump be saying shoot the drones down? Watch the Democrats be like, Trump, he's xenophobic.
Holy cow.
You know what? I got a theory on why they say Trump is xenophobic. They tried to bang Trump. I promise you. They tried to bang Trump. They probably been trying to bang Trump for years. Because they banging everybody else. Everybody else is getting banged. All of these dudes. I think they tried to bang Trump. I think that's the real beef. I think that's the real beef. Because when these dudes try to bang you and they can't bang you and you're not part of that fraternity, you immediately become their enemy. Immediately. They tried to bang Trump. They tried to Diddy Trump. I think that's what happened. I think that's what happened. Because remember, since they couldn't bang him, that means that they couldn't get nothing on him. They couldn't film him doing anything. They couldn't film him. They don't have nothing on him. And they probably just want to bang him because he's rich and extort him later. But yeah, they couldn't bang Trump. They couldn't bang Elon. That's why they stole Elon's son. And now his son's his daughter. Because his son took pills on purpose that were meant to destroy his manhood. If I was Elon, I'd hate them dudes too. Forever. It's forever beef. Forever beef. That beef would never be over. Ever. Oh man, I destroy everything that the liberals love. I would destroy everything. And I had Elon money, I destroy everything. That's what he's about to do with the DOG. They're about to destroy all of the deep state. And if they would have tried to do this during Trump's first term, the American people would have been against it. The only reason why the American people are not going to be against it this time is because of the Biden-Kamala Harris administration, how terrible it was, and how it's just been proven that they just lie all the time. Hold on, do we got any more Democratic lies? Because you know the Democrats are always lying.
The president-elect has also talked about prosecuting members of the January 6th committee like you. I know you said you don't want a preemptive pardon from President Biden. Is that because you think the Trump administration will not actually prosecute?
I don't know what the Trump administration will do, but it's for a couple of reasons. First, those of us on the committee are very proud of the work we did. We were doing vital, quintessential oversight of a violent attack on the Capitol. But so I think it's unnecessary.
This Democrats just always lying. They just be lying. We got any more Democrat lies?
10 senators from both parties visibly happy to announce agreement.
3 years ago, Republicans and Democrats grabbed your money, promising
to build thousands of miles of fiber optic
cable that would provide high-speed internet to all of America.
$65 billion broadband push.
3 years later, no one's been connected. Not a single project is underway. Why? Because governments aren't good at building anything. As Milton Friedman put it.
Just Democrat lies. They just be lying. Hold on. The Democrats keep telling y'all about.
But did you know that the U.S. government collects roughly $4.7 trillion?
So I hope that you all feel that sense of, peace and light, and that just for a moment when you leave here today that you feel, a sense of joy. Because I think we all need we all need to feel joy now during this time of the season, during this time. So anyway, okay, now I'll start. You're all reading into that.
Do y'all remember when I told y'all, and this is before Biden and Harris even took office, do you remember when I told you that Biden and Harris was going to do such a terrible job that the Democrats aren't going to they're going to lose seats. They're not going to, they're going to, when Trump come back to office, he's going to have both houses, he's going to have everything. That they probably aren't going to win another presidential election for 16 years. Remember I was saying that? Don't forget I was saying that. It's crazy how I be saying a lot of shit and then it be just coming to pass. That shit's crazy. It's kind of wild. I ain't gonna lie. Make me feel away. You're like, should I talk about certain things? I ain't gonna lie. That's why sometimes y'all be asking me why I don't talk about certain things. I'll be like, I don't be wanting to talk about it. I don't know. Saying a lot of shit. Mike is all the way over there. I be saying a lot of shit that happened to come to pass. A lot of shit. A lot. But I told y'all. I said Democrats are going to lose everything. And the reason why I believe that to be what was going to happen is what I was basically telling y'all. The Democrats lie about everything. And now they're going to get into office. And they either, and if I remember correctly, I said they're either not going to do the shit that they promised on doing. Well, one, I said they're going to overturn all the stuff that Donald Trump did. That's going to make us already go backwards. But I said that they're not going to do the stuff that they said they're going to do, and people are going to be mad at them. Or they are going to do the stuff that they say that they're going to do, and that shit's going to all fail. What happened? They basically did a lot of the things that they said that they were going to do, and they were all bad ideas across the board. And then what did they do? They attributed those ideas to who? First, a white man, right? An old senile dude and a black woman. Imagine being the vice president and now you're running for office and somebody asks you about the current administration whom you are a part of, and you can't say that you don't agree with some of their policies when the whole entire election, your opponent is running off of what they would do different than what the current administration is doing, and everything that the current administration is doing, the majority of Americans hate. But you can't really say you're against it because you're a part of it. There was no way that the Democrats was going to win once she ran. There was no way. They weren't going to win anyway, but there was no way. That made it impossible. But also, think about something right here. How smart was Joe and his people? By them naming her successor, that means that they didn't have a whole entire primary where they would have had so many people talk about what they were going to do, what they would have done different than what he did, making his whole presidency look even more like a failure. Imagine how much of a failure his presidency would have looked like then. When through the primary, all of the other Democrats that's now running for his seat is busy talking about all of the things that they would have done different. And it would have been a ton of shit. Because the American people aren't happy with anything that they're doing. And that's the part that kills me when I keep hearing Donald Trump is going to do this and Donald Trump is going to do that. Do you see what's currently happening? The shit you're saying Donald Trump is going to do isn't even worse than the stuff that's going on right now. So what are you talking about? You're just saying a thing and then pretending it's bad. Believe me, I know how that works. I've seen people use that tactic against me numerous times. They'll just say a thing and then pretend it's bad. Other day, I had somebody make fun of me because I was like doing some promo for White Castle because they was nice to me. So I was doing some promo for them and I was just showing y'all like they have some good deals. Go down there, go to White Castle. And somebody was like, he's trying to flex having White Castle coupons. What the fuck are you talking about? You just saw me do something and you just attributed whatever negative thing that you could attribute it to because you was trying to provoke me because that's how Satan works. They did something nice for me. I just wanted to. I like doing nice things for people who do nice things for me. I don't know how the rest of the world work. Apparently, it doesn't work that way. Apparently, I'm abnormal. You know, this isn't the thing people do. Apparently, this isn't the thing people do. Be nice to those who are nice to them. Apparently, I had no idea. Now I'm finding out. Now I'm finding out. Shah said, "People loony, bro." Now I'm finding out. I had no idea before. Oh shit! I could have opened up. I can do. Oh shit! Can I do that? I just thought of something. Don't mind me. I just thought of something dope. I don't know if I could do it though. I just thought of something dope. Like really, really dope. Let me see if I could do it. If I could do it, it is gonna take fucking streaming. I don't think nobody else is doing it. It might not be possible. That might be why nobody's doing it. So, you know what, let's just stay on what we're talking about. Is there anything else y'all want to talk about? It's going on an hour and a half into the show. I'm not gonna lie to you. I want to get to lunch. I got a ton of things to do, and I gotta edit some video footage today. So, is there anything y'all guys want to talk about? Put it in the chat, and then I get to it. Any questions? I basically talked about everything except for the Stephen A. Smith. Let's talk about Stephen A. Smith for one moment. Did I add it? Oh, Fanny also. I didn't add the Stephen A. Smith content. Sheesh, I forgot to. Did I? I didn't add Stephen A. Smith. But I did add this, and this is also...
Georgia prosecutor in the Trump election meddling case testifies before the House Judiciary Committee. That's Nathan Wade, and he admitted he met with White House staff on several occasions while working on the investigation that was led by Fulton County DA Fani Willis. He also says he had to brush up on his knowledge of racketeering law. So that continues. Georgia prosecutor in the Trump election meddling case testifies before the House Judiciary Committee. That's Nathan Wade, and he admitted he met with White House staff on several occasions while working on the investigation that was led by Fulton County DA Fani Willis. He also says he had to brush up on his knowledge of racketeering law. So that continues.
Everything they was talking about in regards to Trump was a lie. And you're still going to run into Democrats out here, voters, the voters, that are going to go and tell you Trump's a liar, Trump is this, Trump is that. While actively, just so we could be clear, actively, everything that we're finding out about what these guys is doing is lies. Everything the Democrats do is a lie. Everything they said is a lie. Because somebody showed me one thing that they said that was true so far about Trump. What about, check this out.
Georgia prosecutor.
Hold on. Check this out. Is it NBC? I forgot who it was. It was NBC, right? Yeah, here we go. ABC to pay $15 million legal settlement Trump defamation case. Just before people say Trump don't need that money, they're giving it to a charity. Just so it's going to a charity. ABC will pay $15 million to start a legal as part of ABC will pay $15 million as part of a legal settlement with President-elect Donald Trump, closing out a dispute that centered on an interview in which Trump alleged anchor George Stephanopoulos defamed him. The money will be transferred to a presidential foundation and a museum to be established by or for Trump, according to the settlement terms. They giving it to some kind of foundation or something. The defendants identified by the settlement as ABC News, and Stephanopoulos will also pay $1 million to Trump counsel and add a note to an online article about the interview declaring that they regret statements about Trump, according to the settlement. I want Trump to sue all of these bastards. So this is what I mean by, and these same individuals is going to swear up and down that they're right. They know what they're talking about. And everybody else is crazy. Same individuals. Same individuals coloring their hair blue, shaving it bald, stalking other people that don't support the liars in Congress. Bananas. Bananas. Oh man, that also means all of the censorship shit that they've been doing is about to take a hit because the DOJ is everybody's getting defunded. All of these shadow organizations that's being funded, they're getting defunded. You think that money just be disappearing? It be going to fund other other shit that is, behind the scenes shit. They're about to all get defunded. That's what the DOJ is gonna do. And that's why all of these people are scared and pissed off. That's why you got all of these people talking about they're gonna retire because they know they're gonna get fired. Or they're gonna resign because they know they're gonna get fired. You don't get it? They know they're gonna get fired. So they're just gonna resign. Because resigning looks better. Being fired looks like shit. Did y'all hear about Ellen DeGeneres's so over in England, she had something going on with the prince or something, where they said that she could stay there and not get extradited, but he revoked that shit basically now. So she could be extradited for any crimes. Anybody heard about that? I don't know if that was bullshit or not, but I seen that on the internet somewhere. I don't really care about that much, but the point in which I wanted to make is a lot of people about to be in trouble. Where's LeBron James? He just went and disappeared. Y'all know who Ali Carter is, right? Hold on, before we even talk about Ali Carter. Well, who's that? Why is this in IMDb? Here we go. That's her name. Why is that in IMDb though? What the fuck? This is an IMDb article? So LeBron disappeared, remember? With ongoing scandals surrounding Diddy, high-profile figures from various avenues who have been close to the disgraced rappers now under public scrutiny, with many speculating who might have been aware of the alleged crimes over the years. So, hold on. Let's go check out who Homegirl is real quick. It's like, what the fuck is this doing on IMDb, though? We done with this? No, not yet. We done with this? We done with that? No, not done with that. We done with that. Not done with that. All right. Might not be done with that. All right. I'm doing Chappie Poindexter. This is her right here. Look, LeBron James, Cappy Poindexter. 2021. Now LeBron James is done. He's missing. Nobody can find him. I better wake up. Better wake up. What do you think is going on? You think all of this is just coincidence? Think any of this is coincidence? 100%. First of all, he's always throwing up that rock sign, ain't he? Y'all forget that he was used to do that all the time. Right? Sleeping with men in coffins. Look, all I know is this. Right? Okay, I don't know anything. So, what I'm going to say is this, right? One, LeBron James has been accused of trafficking. Right? So, let's back up from LeBron James for 2 seconds. Do y'all remember the school that Oprah Winfrey had in Africa? right? 8 through 12. South African parents unhappy with Oprah's school. You know the kids wasn't even allowed to see their parents after they go to the school. That's it. They can't see their family and nobody no more. Now let's look at this. Scandal. Second sex scandal. The school started in 2007. So, former matron accused was cleared of charges. Cleared. Wow, so there's constantly stuff happening. Hold on. So one of the 17-year-old girls had a baby, and it was one of the counselors, apparently. Something like that. So this is what's going on over in that school. So let's look at LeBron James's school for a second. No. School he built. I promise. This is what it was created to do, copy? Shout out to all of the stuff that it was created to do. He doesn't put any money into this, by the way. He gets funding. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just explaining. For anybody be like, yeah, he's spending all his money for them their kids. No, he gets funded. With all due respect. Like many of these places. That's not nothing bad. I'm just saying what it is. So... troubling. Has in-depth analysis of the I Promise schools troubling? Yeah, it's anything. So let's look at scandal. I mean, I should just go to grades, actually. But none of the now 8th graders who have spent the last 3 years in James School have met Ohio proficiency standard. Not a single student. So that's insane. Ron's school allies furious bad test scores were publicized. Oh, so they just upset that the test scores was publicized. They don't really care that the kids is testing terribly. Man, shout out to those guys. They got their priorities in line. So I'm putting all that up to say, be mindful of when these people is putting these schools up. Because LeBron James apparently put a school up and he didn't care if the kids did anything. So it's not his school. Somebody else is running that school. What are they really doing in that school? How not one 8th grade was proficient. Not one. Not even by accident. Not one. 0. You can't even do that you can't even do that. How do you do that? I've been in school before. I remember doing well in school in many classes by accident. Like literally just because I was just sitting there and paying a little bit of attention, I'm getting A's and B pluses. I'm not even gonna care about this shit. But I'm getting A's and B pluses. That's just because I'm in the room. I'm not participating or nothing. I mean, like, I'm just saying that they were classes where I had this particular behavior and did well. It wasn't like that in every course, obviously. But I've had situations like that. I remember being in, had a teacher called Mrs. Pinkerton, literally one of the two worst teachers I've ever had in my life. She's a principal now. It is what it is. But I remember having her, and because she treated me so terribly in class, it made it really, I couldn't engage. Like, that's the first teacher I ever had where I couldn't engage with the teacher at all. All I could do was just sit there. This is like 3rd or 4th grade or something like that, but all I could do was sit there. I could just not engage with the teacher. Just could not engage with the teacher. The teacher just was not interested in helping me with anything. That was bananas. In any regard, I did well in her class. Just because I was there. So how you have not one 8th grader? Not one? Are they even attempting to teach at this school? Or is there even a curriculum? What are they doing? Or is this school just about kids coming in and hanging out? Y'all be falling in love with the wrong people and choosing the wrong people to be y'all leaders and y'all idols and the people that y'all follow behind and worship. Y'all shouldn't be worshiping anyone but the Lord, just so we could be clear. Shouldn't be worshiping no one but the Lord, just so we could be clear. But y'all be choosing these human beings to worship, and it's like, what in the hell? How, fam? That idol worship is crazy. I got all these windows up. I can't see nothing. In any regard, what we got going on? What time is it? It's going on 11. I want to eat lunch. Anything else y'all want to talk about? Put it in the chat. I'll give y'all a couple of minutes. Is there anything that y'all want to talk about? Allegedly with the drones, allegedly they looking for some kind of radioactivity. Allegedly there might have been some kind of nuke or something like that might have been smuggled into the east coast of America. I don't know any of this to be true. But what I am going to say is, remember who made our borders weak. Remember who made our borders weak. So whatever happens in regards to any attacks that happens inside of America, that has nothing to do with Trump and everything to do with Biden. From now into the next 3 or 4 years, to be honest with you. Because we already know that a terrorist cell will sit and wait for that call. We already know that. So it might be 3 or 4 years before it actually, whatever the hell, activate. But allegedly, those drones is looking for signs of radioactivity so they could try to find a nuke. I don't know how true this is. What the hell do I know? I don't know what the fuck. But allegedly, that's what's going on. So it's whatever credence you want to lend to it. Whatever energy you want to lend to it. I don't know it to be true. I don't know it to be false. But I do know that there's some things flying up there in the sky that the government refused to tell us about and also refused to shoot down. But also remember when we had those weather balloons or whatever that was up in the sky for like a dumb long time before they did anything about them shits. Shop Room says they got all this to say about Trump, but when nobody talks about Bill and Hillary doing traffic, yeah, well, I'm not going to get into that because that's not what's in the news cycle. Meaning, when people actually in mainstream media starts talking about that a little bit more, I'll discuss it. There's just certain things that I don't want to discuss because I don't want to move myself so far out of the algorithm. Is that fair? We have no proof about the Hillary Bill Haiti situation. I will say this. They're supposed to be really tight with that guy over there named Barbecue. And over in Haiti, I saw video of people cooking other people and then eating them. So that was happening. So the guy that's running everything over there right now, name is Barbecue. So, however you feel about that. So, don't really know too much on that particular situation in any regard. Why did Biden pardon so many people that had heinous crimes? Thought that was interesting. In any regard. So, we're about to get ready to get up out of here anyway. It's going on 11. With that being said, anything else y'all want to talk about? I don't have much to say about the Hillary trafficking, whatever. There's nothing out there about that. There's some stories that they have over in Haiti, and the people of Haiti hate Hillary and Bill apparently, and they're like considered boogeymen, and they allegedly, and I don't really want to get too far into that because I don't know nothing about that. So yeah, but that lends to the idea about why all of these other countries consider, democratic assistance to be so terrible, but over here in America we keep acting like we're saving people every time the Democrats pull up. Y'all do know the reason why the African nations have said that they started dealing with Russia and China was because every time the Americans come over there, they'll only help them if, they'll do things. Like, we'll only help you if you allow for us to try these drugs on your people. Shit like that. We'll only help you if you allow for us to try these vaccines and other weirdo shit like that. Real talk. That's why the African countries was like, you know what? We don't want no more American assistance. And that's why they started. When they was talking real big about the BRICS a couple of years ago, real big about turning over, and they was having like, public situations where they was like having public gatherings with like China and Russia and shit like that was coming over to Africa. For real. And people was like, yo, they just trying to get to hold of their resources. What do you think Joe Biden is doing when Joe Biden goes and makes $1 billion deal with African nations over there, right in the middle of when he should have been over here representing the troops and respecting the troops? What do you think that was about? I don't know. People just be hypocrites. That's it. People just be hypocrites. You just watch and you see it and you're like, this guy's got to be bugging. And then they try to make you a hypocrite. And they're usually pretty pissed when they can't. Really pissed. But yeah, they try to make you look like you being a hypocrite. You don't even being a hypocrite. They just trick the words and then they trick the people they talking to. You don't even be being a hypocrite. You be on point. Oh shoot, I might be able to improve the resolution of might be able to improve this resolution. Hold on one second. No, you're not going to hear about that type of dirt on Trump's name neither. Trump don't fuck with them like that. Trump's never dealt with them like that. Like I tried to tell you. I was actually joking around earlier saying that the reason why they don't like Trump is that they couldn't bang him. Remember, these dudes don't fuck with you unless they got dirt on you. Unless they got something that they could bring to you to force you to do this or force you to do that. They don't really fuck with you. If they don't have something leverage on you, they don't fuck with you. They need to have leverage on you. They do not have leverage on Trump. So they're friendly with him until they feel like they can't be friendly anymore. They don't have no leverage on him. So that's why they mad at him. That's why they don't like him. That's why he's an issue. But if they had leverage on him, they'd love Trump. What you talking about? I have no leverage on him. It is what it is. A lot of times that's one of the issues that some of the people that might have issue with me is they don't have no actual leverage on me. So they got to do the same thing that the Democrats do to Trump. Lie, harass me, send people to try to provoke me. And we already know what provoking is. Why you think I go through the bullshit I go through? I hate when this happens. Hold on. Lie, provoke me. This is what the Bible says. The Bible says that provoking someone to anger is a sin. So every time you see one of those pranksters and somebody is minding their business and they coming over to them and trying to do shit to make them upset, they sinning. Every time you see me outside just doing my show and somebody walk up to me and try to argue with me or pretend like I'm filming them when I'm not filming them, they're sinning. They're trying to provoke me into anger. Every time you see me outside just minding my business and somebody coming over to start something with me then pretend that I can't take a joke, they're sinning. They're trying to provoke me into anger. Fam, I ain't got a cat. Here goes some passages for anybody that needs a little refresher or a little reminder, or anybody that is just assumes I'm telling a lie. Here goes some passages. Yeah, here goes some passages. Anybody that think I'm just capping. I've been telling y'all that I've been going, that the people who have been having a problem with me worship Satan. And why wouldn't I think they worship Satan if everything that they do is sinful? Every interaction I have with them is some kind of sinful act. And not only them sinning, but them trying to get me to sin. That's what Satan does. Satan is always trying to get someone that is not trying to sin to sin. Yeah, just telling you what it is. Oh, we haven't gotten to Stephen A. Smith. I forgot to put the dang thing in my clip, so thank you for reminding me. Sheesh, I was about to get out of here without even saying anything about Stephen A. Smith. Thank you for reminding me, because this is probably another 10, 15 minutes by itself. So I'm just going to show you the clip straight from my phone. I meant to have the clip loaded up, but I accidentally loaded up every clip except for that one. So the clip is almost 3 minutes long, but I'm not going to play 3 minutes. I'm going to play about a minute of it. But I'm going to play a little bit of the beginning, and then I'm going to play y'all the end.
For the sake of argument, it hasn't been a good one. The Democrats lost the White House, Senate, and House in the November election. Meanwhile, this week, FBI Director Christopher Wray announced plans to resign at the end of the Biden administration as President-elect Donald Trump takes office in January. The news comes amidst a bombshell report from the Justice Department that revealed the FBI had at least 26 confidential informants on the ground. Most of the informants engaged in illegal activity during the chaos. The Justice Department says only 3 of its 26 informants present had been instructed to observe potential domestic terrorist suspects on the day of the riot. The rest of the 23 appeared to have gone to the Capitol on their own accord. Upon hearing news of the report, Vice President-elect J.D. Vance posted the following on X, quote, "For those keeping score at home, this was labeled a dangerous conspiracy theory months ago," end quote. So 23 folks for the FBI were in the crowd. And we're just finding that out. Didn't hear anything about that for the election. Didn't hear anything about that when the quote-unquote insurrection was broached by Vice President Kamala Harris as the Democratic nominee, by President Biden before her, by Democrats in both the House and the Senate as they articulated the belief that Donald Trump was a danger to democracy.
Okay, so I think y'all heard most of what he said. Somebody said they lagging alive. I think you heard most of what he said. But just so we could be clear, I wanted to show that clip. Now, I already talked about what he talked about earlier in the show, just so we could be clear. That was this. All right, remember when we played that earlier? That's what he was talking about. He was talking about the fact that they were, how do you say, FBI agents that were undercover there that was acting as if they were some of the J6 people. Now, with that being said, allegedly, pardon me, with that being said, they never told us about that. That completely recontextualizes what happened. So that means that the government knew what was going to happen, and they chose not to do anything. So not only did Donald Trump warn them, but they already had intel. So you cannot blame Donald Trump. The people that were supposed to know and handle it, the feds, knew. And they had 23 people there, who apparently only 3 of them was actually working in the capacity for the federal government. The other ones was there doing all types of shenanigans. So that brings us back to this.
You can kind of put anyone in jail if you know what to do.
How?
You set them up.
Does the Bureau practice entrapment a lot?
Yeah, we get really close. We call it a nudge.
A nudge.
A nudge. Sometimes you just gotta give them a quick little, just to see what happens. Sometimes you light the fuse and just wait for it to follow. Nothing like putting out a fake social media thing to like really get people mad.
So why is it
after him.
entrapment people, basically? So why is it a big deal when I see Stephen A. Smith, why he's in the title and why I brought him up? Because people are waking up. I wanted to give Stephen A. his props for one. For everybody that don't know, before we got here, I have no idea about any of these agents. Before we got here at the BBN, I used to do a lot of different things on social media, and I tweeted with people like Stephen A. Smith, because I tweeted with everybody on ESPN. Got responses back and went back and forth with them, talked with them. I mean, you know, as much as you can. I'm not going to pretend like we had any kind of relationship or anything like that. But I've had quite a few interactions with Stephen A. Smith. So when I tell you that I 100% know that he is not pro fucking Kamala, that nigga ain't never been pro Kamala. I promise you. He is not pro none of this bullshit that the Democrats is talking. I promise you. And I just thought that was dope that he called them on their bullshit. Thought that was dope, so I wanted to bring it up. I wanted to play his clip, but apparently I didn't load it up. But I will play the very end, because the very end is what I wanted to play more than anything else. Listen to what he says at the very end.
The world, you know what I'm getting tired of? You know what I'm getting, to the Democratic Party, you know what I'm getting really pissed off about? I'm getting really ticked off at every time they open their mouth about something pertaining to y'all, they seem right.
He just called the Democrats a liar the nice way by saying that the other guys are always telling the truth. So yeah, that's what the Stephen A. was about. Shout out to Stephen A. We need more. We need to get people off of the Democratic plantation. For real, for real. Like, that shit got to go the way of the dinosaur. I get it, a lot of people don't get it, but that shit got to go the way of the dinosaur. We got to get off of the Democratic plantation, man. With that being said, I forgot to run my
So if
phone.
you are a student between the 8th grade and 10th, 11th, you should be thinking about your future, right? Let me be completely honest with you. Application process, competition level, and all the things that you need to fill out is absolutely brutal. Listen, I understand you're freaking out if you're looking at all the application stuff. I'm here for you. First, you don't want to disappoint your parent. Second, you want to be at the top when they're compared to your friends because they are your competition. 3, the most important one, how are you even going to afford this? Are you going to be able to afford the loans? Are your parents going to be able to afford it? Are you going to get it done? And finally, to me, the most important, what is it you're going to do in college? You want to be able to go there and actually enjoy your future. So is it really going to be worth it? Absolutely. Hi, my name is Gregory Andres, and I am a college coach, college advisor, and an educator. Over the last 10 years, I've had hundreds of students just like you get into prestigious universities like Cornell, NYU, Columbia, and Harvard. Comment education below to get a free checklist from me so it can be an easier process for you to where you want to be.
Shout out to Greg. When our kids get ready for college, I'm going to make sure that they go speak with him, get some of the assistance from that guy to help them out. Real good friend of mine, real good guy. We're going to have more, we got to get the information for you guys to be able to get in contact with him to get the assistance from this man. We'll have that up by tomorrow or tonight if we do a live tonight. I'm not 100% sure. I'm thinking about it. Because we had so much content today that I wanted to cover this morning. And I wanted to keep the show, because I like to keep the show around hour and a half mark. We're going on 2 hours right now, but I try to keep the show around the hour and a half mark. We need to have a longer type of show, I know, where we're going 3-4 hours and we're just on here and we're bugging out and we're having a good time and stuff like that. We got to get back to that type of content. But until then, our morning show, Morning Coffee, is generally about an hour and a half. If you see me go live like around 6:37, that's the days that I'm like, you know what, we got 3-4 hours of content. I want to make sure that I get the opportunity to get it out because I know we're going to be live for a really long time today. If you see us going around 9, the general time that we are generally going to go, then that's because I'm more prepared for a shorter segment, just so y'all can know. With that being said, I love y'all. Please go out there in the world, do something worth doing. Stamp God's name on it. Let people know that you come in the name of the Most High. We got a lot going on in the world. And so I'm walking down the street the other day. I want to share this. So I'm walking down the street the other day. And I'm walking past these two dudes. They both look like, I'm not trying to say nothing disparaging about them, but they just look like, guys that would generally just be hanging on the corner. Like, I'm not trying to say nothing disparaging. I hung out on corners at one point or another, but these look more like guys, and they probably did. I know what I want to say, but I'm not. But that's not what it's about. So I'm walking down the block, and I'm headed to church, and one of them starts saying, well, nobody's giving me nothing for free. Yeah, man, nobody's giving me nothing for free. That's what the dudes are saying. And I just want to say this. So if you want to get a blessing, you got to go be a blessing. So when I'm up here and I'm saying, go out there in the world, do something worth doing, and then stamp God's name on it, I'm not just trying to encourage you to go do something nice for another individual. I'm trying to encourage you to build up a rapport with God. So God comes into your life and send people to do something like for what you did for somebody else for you. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to encourage you to do things that's going to make God show up in your life with tangible results. I might not be the richest man in the world. I'm absolutely not that. Shout out to Elon Musk. I might not be the handsomest man in the world. I mean, I'm damn close. But, not the handsomest. But that's okay. All of those things are fine. As long as I'm trying to do the best that I can to be the best person that I can be. And by doing that, is by extending the word of God as best as I can to as many people as I can. So I enjoy going out into the world and doing things where I could be a benefit to someone else other than just myself. I think that that's kind of what life is about. So when I'm going out there in the world and I'm just being kind, because, I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. And then my kindness generates people reciprocating and being kind back towards me. That's not me getting something for free. I've already paid for that. And when similar situations happen like that for anybody else, it's not them getting anything for free. They've paid for it. Why don't you go out into the world and try to be an asset? Why don't you go out into the world and try to find something that you enjoy doing that other people could benefit from? I'm not asking you to go out and do something that you hate doing and do it begrudgingly, because you don't get a blessing from God for doing anything begrudgingly. You're supposed to do it wholeheartedly. It's supposed to be a good experience. So I encourage people to go out into the world and do that. Because I want you to grow closer to God. I want you to move closer to God. I want God. I want you to be able to see how much God loves you. So for the two dudes that was busy doing whatever they was talking about whatever they was talking about, you don't get it. I don't expect you to get it. They know not what they do. But I absolutely 100% wish the best for you. And I hope that God blesses you and he puts something in your heart that the next time you find out about someone doing something kind for another person, it's not a big deal to you. It's not something that you feel offended by. And it doesn't anger you. Because that's envy and jealousy, and those are sins. So I'm praying that God removes that from your heart. Because you're going to benefit much more from not feeling that than I'm going to benefit from you not feeling that towards me. With that being said, like, comment, subscribe. Join the notification gang. Hashtag Bronx Bombers. Let's get it. I love y'all. Take care of each other. Hug the kids for me. I haven't forgotten about you. And that's all I got on this one.
Hey! Is the noon train on time?
Supposed to be.
Feels like it's time.
Fair enough.